Hey, hi everyone, welcome back. Hope that you all had a good break. So we'll be moving on to the next challenge statement on seeking chatbot technology for call center. So for the benefit of new attendees, I'll be running through how this works. So the session is scheduled for 30 minutes from 4 to 4:30. And first, Mr. Sasaki-san from Sumitomo will be sharing for 15 minutes for all startups and attendees to better understand Sumitomo's proposal, motivation for the statement, the desired outcomes, as well as the expectations for the startups to submit their proposals. So this session also is meant to aid startups in their understanding of the challenge statements, so that when you all submit your proposals, you would be better able to grasp what are some of the outcomes and the desired outcomes before you all submit your proposal statement. So we would like to also encourage all participants to, as much as possible, take this chance and this opportunity to type in your questions in the Q&A session. In the Q&A panel. So, Mr. Sasaki-san will be sharing for 15 minutes, and then in the next part of the session, for the next 15 minutes, we'll be moving on to the Q&A, where we'll be answering some of the questions that are being typed out. So at this point in time, all participants' microphones and also your video cameras have been muted and disabled. So without further ado, I'd like to invite back Mr. Sasaki-san to share about the new challenge statement about seeking chatbot technology for call center.
Okay. For those who newly attended this part, we are PT Monotaro Indonesia. We do B2B e-commerce, and we are carrying millions of products with 12 categories to fulfill all the needs for business users. And now I'm moving to the challenge statement. Okay. So since we do e-commerce, we have a customer support team. But importance of all the e-commerce business is not to have too many people and work efficiently. Yeah, to make the business model very profitable. So currently, we are facing the challenges. One of them is how to make customer support efficiently. So the channels that we got inquiry from customers are several: phone call and WhatsApp, email, and yeah, mostly those three. And also chat box. So we have a chatbot, so customer can frankly ask in the chatbot in the website. Yeah, and then since we have millions of items, the accumulation of knowledge for each product is very difficult. Like some items are really specific and very unique for those who need a very specific function. So that's why not really easy to answer those questions. So sometimes we ask through the suppliers that we buy from, because the knowledge to answer those inquiries is very difficult and complicated sometimes. So that's why we get some knowledge and the help from our suppliers. Yeah, and the next step is but maybe this field is the main. This is one of the main field of AI. So using AI, artificial intelligence power, maybe we can make it more efficient by answering the questions, and also maybe the AI software enables us to accumulate the data and analyze the data to have the better service to answer those inquiries. And then this kind of software is really common in the world, I think. But the thing is, we do business in Indonesia, so that's why the language that we communicate with customers is Bahasa Indonesia, which is an Indonesian language. So that's why the chatbot and AI system must be focusing on Bahasa Indonesia. So that's a little bit difficult for us because we can't simply use those software in other countries except for Indonesia because language is different. Yeah, so that's the overview, and now we are seeking the better service or software to enable us to handle those inquiries from customers more efficiently. Basically, that's it from me. Maybe it's gonna be very quick.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Sasaki-san, for sharing about this challenge statement. Okay, so we can also take a while to wait for the attendees to fill your questions so that Mr. Sasaki-san can also better address them. And if there are any questions that might not be related to the challenge statements, then you could also send in to our TCC email, which is tcc2020@enterprisesg.gov.sg or oi@ipi-singapore.org. Okay, so the first question is about whether the solution for this is are you all looking for a readily available AI chatbot solution, or to build one that is within the JV of PT Monotaro and Sumitomo?
As PT Monotaro Indonesia, we are focusing on our B2B e-commerce part, which is so that's why it's good if we can build by our own those kind of artificial intelligence powered chatbot system, but currently we don't have any plan to build by our own. Yeah, we do have engineers in our office, but we are not considering to use those resources on it. Yeah.
Okay, the next question. What is the average call per day?
This is a bit confidential information, so that's why but it's many, like one person is using full time, like 8 hours. Like all the time spending those 8 hours for 100 calls. Yeah, but we don't currently we don't disclose the exact number per day. Yeah, but maybe you can imagine by the situation that I described. Yeah.
Okay, we've got another question on whether the text and speech recognition is mandatory for this solution that you are seeking.
Yes, exactly. Not only text. I think this text is easy because deep learning technology can enable users to analyze text easily. But the speech, the wording part, we are also seeking the software that enables us to analyze those speaking part too. So mandatory, I mean, yes.
Okay. There's another question as to whether Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp are the help center, or there's like a dedicated customer support for it.
Oh yeah, we do use WhatsApp because WhatsApp is very common in Indonesia. Even in the B2B transaction, the people in that transaction use WhatsApp for communicating with their business partners too. So that's why we have the function in called customer support for WhatsApp. But Facebook messengers, yes, we open the window for for handling those inquiries, but I think more like WhatsApp is more the best communication channel, I think.
Okay, the next one is to whether a cloud-based and subscription-based solution would be acceptable types of solutions.
Sorry?
So for the type of solutions that you are looking for, whether you are looking at cloud-based, so the information can be stored in a cloud, or whether, and also whether it's on a subscription basis, if these are acceptable options as the solutions that you are looking out for.
I think that's, this is just my opinion, but cloud basis is better rather than on-premise one. Yeah, and many of those similar services in the world, they are using SaaS, subscription basis service. Yeah, so because that we don't need to do the huge investment on it. So yeah, subscription is better. Yeah, yes.
Okay, the next question. Can this proposed solution be developed into two phases? So it will be the text first, followed by the speech.
So that means if you can help us, then you will develop text first and go to the speech. If it's my understanding is correct, then yeah, that's.
I believe as well.
Yeah, that can be. We can. Yeah, maybe you can use our data as a trial from text to speech. Yes. Yes, you can. Two phase is fine.
Yeah. There's also another question and answer. I believe that you also need to convert the text into the original language. So
yeah,
exactly. Will this be part of your requirement?
Yeah, that's very good point. As you know, in Indonesia, there's not only one language. Bahasa Indonesia is the standard Indonesian language, I believe, as long as I know. But there's so many rural area, not rural, I mean regional language. So that's why. But basically, when people who are located in those areas, when they communicate with, let's say, customer support, they try to use the standard Bahasa Indonesia. But yeah, as you said, they may have some accent or even very different language. Then if the CS customer support PIC can also speak that language, the regional language, then they may communicate with that language. That's why that system or software can analyze that part too. That's very difficult actually.
Okay, the next question. Is there an expected delivery timeline for the solution that you're looking out for?
Well, we don't really have the timeline that until when we need to have that software. We don't have it now. Yeah, so maybe we can discuss flexibly.
Okay. Another question. Would you consider a proposal that consists of two phases? So the first one, the first phase would be a basic AI chatbot solution with a speech-to-text functionality. And the second one would be a production phase that would be a more complete solution. So whether this solution that the startup will propose can come in two separate parts, or whether you're looking for a comprehensive package.
Oh yeah, that's fine. We can collaborate together. Yeah. Phase one, phase two, yes, yeah. Absolutely, that's fine.
Okay, then another one. Would you all be able to extend some of the data sets to train the existing chatbot platform?
Yes. After we have done some needed contract or some NDA or something, then yeah, we are very open to do that. Yeah. So it's possible. That's my answer.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Sasaki-san.
It's actually in Indonesia, as long as I know, there are many startups already there. But for B2B field, I think it's starting and booming. So maybe we are like the one who does IT business for B2B customers. I think so far it's not really many, but it's gonna be many. So we are already doing that part. So maybe our needs can be the future needs for those startups or IT companies who wants to cure the pain in the B2B transaction, I believe.
Okay, we can wait a while more for some of the questions.
This kind of software is it common in Singapore already? Wow. Yeah. I'm not really sure about the Singapore market, especially for those software.
Yes, we have a couple of chatbot solution providers, and some of them are actually our attendees today.
I see, I see. They handle English only, or?
Mainly in English, but then I think there are those who can support other foreign languages as well.
Oh, I see, I see. English is actually easier, I think, because even though some people have very strong accent, but English is English, so word wouldn't change. But in Bahasa Indonesia, as long as I know, the regional Bahasa Indonesia is like the word itself is very different. So when they speak, when they means customer and PIC in customer support communicate each other with that language, then it's going to be very difficult as identify the words because I believe the software will be based on the Bahasa Indonesia, which is the standard one. So to picking up some text from the conversation, maybe it takes time and effort for the machine to learn this word is this word in this word from regional language to standard. Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. Sasaki-san. Okay, we have got another question on whether there will be a third-party vendor who can then help in translating the language into the Bahasa language, or would it be a requirement as part of the solution they are looking for?
I think this is a difficult part because we do have the products from international products. Then we try to translate from English to Bahasa Indonesia, but the first of all, Google Translate doesn't work well. Maybe yeah, the characteristic of Bahasa Indonesia is very specific. Maybe I'm not sure, but that's why translating part is very difficult from even English to Bahasa Indonesia. And some regional bahasa, well, regional language in Indonesia is like I'm not. I think this is very difficult for vendors. I think there are not so many vendors for that because most of the people can at least communicate. And yeah, the one who needs who has the needs to identify the words word by word, and not so many. The one someone like us. So that's why I think there are not so many vendors who do that service because the needs is really specific, I think.
Okay.
Very good point. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thanks everyone. It seems like we don't have any more questions, so we can come back again for the next session at 4:30. And in the meantime, if there, oh sorry, we have just received one question, whether Sumitomo would be open to do a proof of concept with regards to Bahasa.
Proof of concept. proof of concept regards to Bahasa means? I'm sorry, could you make it
So,
more?
I believe what the question would like to ask is also whether, with regards to the translation to Bahasa Indonesia, whether there can be a proof of concept, since there's a translation requirement, and whether then therefore the solution can then incorporate proof of concept type of solution rather than rolling full out in the development. So first, to start with the proof of concept first.
Yes, yes. Yeah, our staff can help out, of course. So, pilot project. Okay.
Yeah, so the question following back to the previous question is also whether then this proof of concept would be basically referring to a pilot project to test out the chatbot to understand the Bahasa language.
Or,
Okay, I think for this question, as to the previous question, then Sumitomo is I understand that Sumitomo is also open to all proof of concepts, but of course they will have to consider the applications that are received. So you can also submit your proposals, and on this note, a gentle reminder that all proposals have to be submitted by 15 September. Okay, we have got one more question. Can we engage a partner or a company to work in localization of text in regional language? Meaning that whether because of the language differences, then whether there can be like a third party or like a vendor relationship to work specifically for the language requirements.
Applications that are received. Yeah, I believe so. Actually, yeah, Sumitomo will be. Well, we need to ask Sumitomo actually, because I'm a guy of Monotone Indonesia, so I'm not really sure about the Sumitomo situation. But yeah, I believe it's possible. And actually, Monotone Indonesia, yeah, I think we can do the proof of concept. Yes, with our help.
Okay. We can also take this question offline to reply over email separately.
Okay.
So for the person who asked this question, then you can send in your question to tcc2020@enterprisesg.gov.sg.
I believe Malcolm is from Sumitomo. He asked the question.
Oh, yes.
Hi, yes, Malcolm here. I'm just trying to clarify. I think we are very open to all different sort of ideas that we have. Of course, while we are definitely open to POCs, if we cannot find a suitable vendor that already has Bahasa within their solution itself, of course. So I think this really depends on what sort of applications we get, and we will definitely want to work with the best vendor that we can find.
Thank you, Malcolm.
If there are no further questions, we can take a short break Or Malcolm, do you have anything to add to the presentation?
Not for now.
Okay, yeah, so we can take a short break and we can come back in about 5 minutes time at 4:30 to start the session on time. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.